Hello and welcome to another episode of The Average EV. Today I am taking a trip in the Chevy Equinox EV up to Nassau Coliseum in Long Island, New York for the Electrify Expo. Join me as I travel up there using only the Tesla Supercharger Network. Let's get into it. All right, everybody, so it's the annual Electrify Expo. I like to go there because there's opportunities to drive cars that I don't really get the opportunity to drive. The one I'm most excited for is, actually there's two I'm most excited for, is the Tesla Cybertruck and the Lucid Air. Those are gonna be on test drive, so I'm gonna try those out, and that's gonna be a fun time. There's a couple other cars. It says Porsche's there too, so I don't know if they're just bringing the Taycans or if they're bringing the Macans because they're coming out soon, so that'll be a nice little experience as well, because the Taycan, I don't know if I've ever told anyone this on the channel, but that's kind of my dream car. I just want a Taycan one day. I won't be the average EV anymore if I have the Taycan, but that's fine. Well, if it's used and it's very affordable, then it could be the kind of average EV. But anyways, so we're heading up there. We're taking the Chevy Equinox EV, and I'm only going to use the Tesla Supercharger Network, and I'm only going to follow the directions that the onboard routing tells me what to do, so you can get a little experience of how that works and the quality of it and the decisions it makes, and maybe how conservative it is when it comes to its state of charge arrival. So let's flip the screen around, show you what's going on, and then we'll get on our way. All right, everybody, so it's 47 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm gonna reset the current trip when it's time to go. I set the tire pressures last night. Of course, this one's a little bit lower, but it's close enough. Energy info, I'm going to track the energy usage just to see. So that'll be fun. I have to remember to at every stop because it does reset if you have a Chevy Equinox EV. And then we'll see energy efficiency later. And then trip, I'll record the trips. And we'll kind of see how things are gonna go. So again, it's 4:36 a.m. Let me go ahead and get the route all set up. So here is the route. We are at 72% state of charge. That's fine because we could make it there with honestly this much state of charge. Or nearly make it there, but it has 2 charging stops, half hour of charging. We're gonna take the Turnpike, it looks like. Carney's Point, it says NACS adapter required, and Tesla Supercharger, Perth Amboy. Now that doesn't say NACS adapter required, so I wonder if that is a magic dock. Interesting. Guess we'll find out, or maybe I'll check when we get to the first stop to double check. And then we'll get to Nassau Coliseum earlier than expected, so I might stop and have like a breakfast or something like that. So I'm ready to go, ready to record lots of videos. So let's go ahead, and it says tolls are included. Doesn't tell me how much, but it says there are tolls. I'm gonna click start, and here we go. All right, everybody, so my accurate data calculations are already going pretty bad because I opened the door because I was trying to pull up to the Tesla Supercharger, and I'll show you that in a second, but whatever, it's cleared out. So I could calculate how many kilowatt hours we use. It's not that hard. You divide that by that and figure it out. So I'll do that. But anyways, 102.3 miles, 3.1 mile per kilowatt hour. Arrived here with 35%. See if there's anything else that's important for us to see. Go to navigation. Here it's just saying we need to charge. So we're gonna plug in, and it says if we leave now, we'll arrive with negative 7%, which is not ideal. So let's plug in and charge. All right, I'm all plugged in, gonna go ahead and activate. You can see I had to park like a crazy person. I'll give you a better perspective here in a second after I activate. We are plugged in and charging here at the Tesla Supercharger, 145 kilowatts. Let's go back to the map. Again, that's gonna be our next stop. hour and 22 minutes. So probably don't have to charge too long, maybe 50-60%, and then we can head out. I'm gonna go use the restroom and then come back and see where we're at charge wise. All right, everybody, here I am at the Tesla Supercharger. So these are centered in the spot, which is actually worse for the Equinox. So I had to park in the middle of two spots. I don't know if y'all can see that. And then additionally, I had to pull the car really far forward. Actually, something scraped. Not sure what that was, but it's what I had to do to charge. So obviously charging on the Tesla Supercharger Network is not ideal at all locations. Hopefully as they add the version 4, 3 plus stations, that makes things a lot easier, and I certainly wouldn't have had to do this. Or I don't know what the reality is. If they could just retrofit like 2 or 3 foot longer cables onto these, it would look bad aesthetically, but it would definitely serve their non-Tesla customers much better. So we're at 104 kilowatts. It peaked around 146, 147. Not too bad. We've only been charging for maybe 10 minutes or so. Gone from 32, 34 up to 55. So not the worst. It says we'll arrive with 11%. I'm just gonna eat and then we'll go. So yeah, so pretty smooth charging top, except for the fact that I had to take up 2 spots and I had to pretty much pull over the curb to even use the charger. So I'll definitely try and avoid this one in the future. Although it's nice, it's right off the highway, place with bathrooms and a Dunkin', and then there's a Pilot Flying J across the street. I might actually try and see if there's anything going on there with charging. Probably not, but it's worth just popping over real quick since it's right there. All right, I'm ready to go. We're at 60%, still getting 100 kilowatts, which is great actually. Stop charge, and then testing out the new A to Z adapter. So I'll take it out of the car first. That was easy. And then I want to two-hand this, so pardon the camera work. Oh, wow. Yeah, sorry about that, everyone. Yeah, that was great. That was super easy. The Tesla part came out nice and easy, which is usually the harder part with these adapters. So definitely enjoying this A to Z adapter. And again, I plugged in and I'm feeling this adapter, and yeah, it's barely warm. So that's pretty great. So gonna go ahead, put that away. Loving this A to Z adapter. I just got it. They sent it to me to try out and test and compare. So yeah, digging it. We're on the way. There's a little bit more light outside, so now I can do a segment finally in the car. But anyways, the charging stop, as far as charging is concerned, it went well. But like I said, I had to park a little weird. But fortunately, it wasn't full. If it was a full site, that would have been a different story, and I could have got on some people's nerves. So definitely hope that Tesla has some kind of solution to either replace all the dispensers at these sites, or at least retrofit slightly longer cables, 2 or 3 feet longer. That way, people who they're allowing on their network now aren't going to disturb their other customers. Because, you know, if I'm being honest, I have a right to those chargers now because Tesla has allowed me access, and it puts me in a really uncomfortable situation that all these sites aren't ideal for my vehicle. I want to go to Tesla. The prices are generally cheaper than Electrify America, even with the Pass Plus. So why wouldn't I want to choose the cheaper, more reliable, better charging experience? So hopefully Tesla can make those changes to accommodate us non-Tesla cars that have non-native port locations, and hopefully that'll make a great experience for all the drivers. I don't think that's what they're gonna do, but one can dream. Second, I do want to note that I am routing using the built-in Google Maps. It routed me to the charger. It did the fast charging prep. It was 50 degrees, so certainly cold for a battery for an EV. It heated the battery up. When I plugged in, I got pretty much full speeds. So that just goes to show that the on-route preconditioning worked fantastic. And if that is a concern for you, you know, this might be the car for you. And then lastly, I do want to mention the beginning part of my trip, my efficiency was low as the heat was trying to warm up the cabin. And then once that had completed, it kind of settled down and the efficiency was a little bit better. Now I'm on the turnpike. I didn't check, but I feel like I have a headwind, and my efficiency is not very great at 65 miles an hour, being 2.7 miles per kilowatt hour. So I might check the wind here in a little bit and see what's going on there. But aside from that, we're on our way to the next charging stop, which is just outside of New York before we cross over to Long Island. And it says we're gonna ride with 18% state of charge. So can do a little 20 to 80% test there, see how that goes. And yeah, so I'll catch you all in a little bit just before I get into New York. So I just checked windy, got a 8 mile an hour crosswind heading east. So that could play a little bit of a factor, but yeah, so I'm just gonna kind of track this efficiency and see how things go over the next little bit of distance here. All right, so we stopped, well, I stopped to go get Starbucks because this Dunkin', it's just not for me. But anyways, 41.4 miles, 3.3 kilowatt hours of energy used. Let's go to the trip right here. 3.1 so far, 3 mile per kilowatt hour. So let's go get some Starbucks and then we'll get back on the road to where we're going. All right, we've made it. It says we need to charge to at least 57%. I might go a little bit higher than that, which is fine. And then let's look at the stats here. We use 12.5 kilowatt hours to go 36.1 miles. And again, that was from my coffee stop. And then the trip, there it is, 180 miles, 3 miles per kilowatt hour. And efficiency there is a little bit low. I was trying to get the battery down to 30%. I almost did. I got to 31%. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug in. I do want to note, when I got here, it prompted me to pull up something so I could start the charge from inside my car, which is actually really nice. However, that's not gonna use my Tesla membership that I agreed to. So I'm gonna activate from the app instead. So I'm all plugged in. Again, this is just one of those non-ideal spots where the dispenser right in the middle of the parking spot, so I had to park like this. But again, I'm still only blocking one charger, so it's not the worst. I'm just blocking that one right there, but there's plenty of open ones if people need them. I was able to pull up, didn't have to pull up too close, and luckily this was a low curb. The last one was a little bit higher of a curb, so there we are. So let's see what charge speeds we're getting. Again, we plugged in at 31%. And we're getting 147 right off the bat. There we go. Let's go to charging. There it is. All right. Real quick while we're in here, I just want to show you all. Why is this not the actual nearby? I'll reload. There we go. So here's where we're at. And if I wanted to, I could go in here, click a charger, and then start the charge, but I already did that, so I don't need to worry about that. So again, I like that here it shows what I'll arrive to Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum at, 5%, but I want to arrive there more with like 50% state of charge. So yeah, here we are, 35%, getting 149 kilowatts, and pretty pleased so far. So I went inside the hotel, was able to use the restroom. They had like a Starbucks and some other stuff. It's kind of weird that this is at a hotel, but you can get in 24/7, and they're kind of inviting you here because they have this sign so everyone can see who's charging. It's got their bistro bar, a la carte options, and Starbucks. So that's pretty nice, actually, I would say, for being a hotel. I've always thought they're awkward spots, but maybe this one will change my mind if more hotels were like this and accommodating to the EV drivers. But anyways, glad they're good site hosts. We're gonna keep charging here. Let's actually go in the car and see what's going on. I actually thought it turned the car off, but I didn't. 105 kilowatts at 57%, so that's awesome. Let's go to the map. It says we'll arrive with 30%, so that means we have to charge to 80% to arrive with around 50%, but I bet we could go to like 75 and we probably arrive with around 50%, because this tends to be very conservative in its estimations, and it's only an hour and 20-minute drive, so can't complain there. I'll catch up with y'all when I unplug. Everyone, I said it was pretty good. I was getting 100 so kilowatts at 60%, and it really is. I double checked my charging curves, and I've actually never gotten 100 kilowatts this deep of state of charge. So again, showing that when you plug in with a higher state of charge, it doesn't overheat and you can get some better charging speeds. Now, I did get the first update and waiting on the second update, and allegedly there's some battery improvements. Now, I don't know if that had anything to do with charging performance, but I certainly will test it out for everybody and do a 10 to 80 and kind of post that to see if that GM dip still occurs or if it's at least reduced a little bit. We're about to wrap up the charging here. Still getting 74 kilowatts at 79. Not the best, but not the worst. Gonna go ahead and get out, unplug everything, and then we'll continue on to Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum. All right, let's unplug. So again, if you push down slightly, it'll come out of the car. There we go. And then if you push down a second time, it'll come, the Tesla charger will come out. You all are watching me. Well, you can't watch me, but you're seeing me struggle. And then, there we go. Got the adapter. Again, if I wasn't videoing this, it would have been very simple. The charger is slightly warm, but not hot at all, which is good. And we can now get on our way. Continue. There we go. Arriving at 10:02. Maybe we can make it a little bit earlier. All right, everyone, I made it. I forgot to do it again for the energy consumption, but last stretch was 72 miles, 3.5 mile per kilowatt hour, 252 miles total, 3.1 mile per kilowatt hour. Gonna head over to Electrify Expo. All right, everybody. So I'm back in the car after Electrify Expo. We're gonna head back. I'm gonna go ahead and flip the camera around and let's get our plan together. We have 58%, and I have no plan. So whatever the infotainment says is what I'm gonna do, unless it's taking me back to the same chargers. I'd like to go to some different chargers just to get a different experience. All right, so got the route here, 5 hours and 18 minutes. Here we go. Yeah, so it wants to take me to that Cranberry charger. That's where I went. And then Port Deposit, that's not the one I went to. So I'm gonna see if I can't find a different charger along the way. Upon further review, I'm just gonna listen to the navigation, because there really aren't any other after Cranberry before the next one. So we'll stick to this. It's gonna be all right. Looks like a lot of traffic and a lot of tolls. Ugh. All right, here we go. All right, everybody, we've made it here. 70 miles, it was the longest 70 miles of my life. 4 mile per kilowatt hour. I don't know why there's a discrepancy, but there it is, 2 hours of driving. Gonna go ahead, plug in. I'm actually gonna do this without videotaping. I wanna see what the experience is like. Just, if I was by myself without YouTube. We are plugged in here at 146 and getting 147 kilowatts, which is great. So I was distracted because I went to do the map and it was all messed up. So start. It says, yes, I've arrived. Okay. I want to see how much it wants me to charge. Okay. It's not telling me. Interesting. Oh, there it is. I need at least 71 to get to here. Oh, okay. And there's that message I was talking about earlier when I was on my way here. 71%. But that gets me there at 21, so I can go to like 60 or so. So I'm gonna go run and use the restroom and then come out. Again, getting 100, it just showed 150 kilowatts now at 40%. So shouldn't be too long of a charge here. So I'm gonna run in and then I'll catch up with you all in a bit. All right, everybody, so here I am again, parked like a jerk. But fortunately, there's plenty of chargers available. But I mean, this is the only way I can charge, unfortunately. And I was actually talking to Matt Teskey of Chargeway, and he was saying, yeah, a friend of his said they're probably not gonna ever replace these or do anything with the cable. So this is it, and just hope that I don't run into a bad situation where people get upset. But again, remember, I have cooler heads. If you see people like me just wanting to get a charge at a good price here at a Tesla Supercharger. All right, so it's down to 114 kilowatts now. And we only need to go about 13% more. So I'm actually gonna click continue. And right now it says I get there at -3%. So yeah, I think when that says like, honestly, 8, 9, 10, we can go. No need to hang around here and be taking up 2 charging spots. So we're here, 59%, 104 kilowatts still, 8%. I'm gonna go ahead and unplug in a second, get out of the car, and then take a picture for the Twitter, and then we'll be on our way. All right, I'm stopping to grab a coffee. I forgot to reset trip 2, but whatever. So it was 3 miles to get some coffee, so I'm cool with that. Still at 60% state of charge. Gonna run in and get that, and then come back out, and then get on our way to our actual destination of our next supercharger. Got a little treat yourself. Oh, let me turn around. There it is. Pumpkin cream cold brew, but 1 pump of vanilla instead of 2. All right, on our way. We'll arrive at 8%, hour and a half of driving. I'm just gonna put on some tunes and enjoy the road. We have made it to the Tesla Supercharger here, and port deposit says we need to charge at least 60% to get home with 31. I'll probably go up to 80. And I'm gonna do a little 20 to 80% charge test here. I'm also gonna test a theory if the situation arises. So if I start to see the GM dip, I am going to blast the heat, and I want to see if it helps cool the battery down. I'm also wondering if I should just start blasting the heat from the beginning to like completely avoid it. It's a theory someone had, since allegedly this has a heat pump. It's supposed to, the whole Ultium platform, but there's like, they don't advertise it, which they should, because people want cars with heat pumps. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get plugged in, and then we'll see what's going on. I did arrive at 20%. I guess we should get all these numbers in. We use 33.8 kilowatt hours and 105 miles. And here are the numbers. I forgot to reset this. So 105.6 miles, 3 mile per kilowatt hour, an hour and 37 minutes of driving. So let's go ahead and plug in. I'm all plugged in here. I'm actually using the Tesla adapter because I'm doing that little test thing. I wanted to make sure everything was squared away. The A to Z was kind of warm still, but I definitely could have used it again, but I didn't want to risk anything for the sake of my test. So we got the supercharger firing up. We're at 20% state of charge. Let's see what we're getting here. 141 kilowatts, 142. That's ramping up there. I'm actually gonna change this to 80% because that's what I want. I can plug it at home, but I don't want to have to. My wife might need to charge when I get home. So yeah, 146 kilowatts. So I'm just gonna sit here, and then once or if I see the GM dip occur, I'm going to blast the heat and just see if it helps. If it doesn't happen, then I don't need to. It is cooler, 67 degrees outside. So yeah, anything could happen here. Everybody, it's worth noting the price for charging here was 33 cents a kilowatt hour. Now that is with the membership, but that's still great. Like, that's a really good price. So again, Tesla, in my experience and observation, at least on the East Coast, for what I can say, is generally actually cheaper than most of the other charge point operators, especially Electrify America and EVgo, including the Pilot Flying J. So yeah, definitely loving the Tesla Supercharging Network. It's going to be the way to go for me. I am a little worried when we take our cross-country trip to California because of situations like this where I have to park in the middle, like over a line, basically, to even reach the charger. But I think a lot of those chargers in the middle of the country aren't used a lot, so I'll probably be okay. But when we get closer to like Arizona, California, maybe it might become a little bit more of an issue. But yeah, I think this is the way to go, at least for me. And again, I'm not like the biggest Elon fan, but it's, you know, sometimes it's hard when the prices are that much better and the reliability is that much better and the number of them across the country is that much better. It's really hard for me to want to try another charging network. Now I am excited about Iona, and if they can be reliable, and they're using the Alpitronic Hypercharger 400, like, you know, I might also look at Iona, and if they make their pricing competitive, which I think they will because they have so many OEMs backing it, I think that'll be interesting as well too. And I would love to use some Iona chargers. All right, so again, I'm gonna keep charging here. We're at 30%, 152 kilowatts. Let's see what happens. Checking in here at 40%, still getting 134 kilowatts, which is good. So no sign of the GM dip yet, but I will keep everyone posted. All right, 47%. There was a little bit of a drop to 123 kilowatts, but no GM dip threat here. If it gets to like 100, if it's 100 and starts to go below 100 around this point in time, that's when I would know GM dip is coming around. I'm trying to remember back to my charge curve. Maybe I can check my table, but I think it was around 60-ish% that it occurred. So I'll keep a lookout and I'll keep you all updated. Just check the tables. So actually this is charging almost 20 kilowatts faster than my other 20 to 80% charge test, which is interesting. Now that 20 to 80 was not on a supercharger. It was on a BTC Electrify America, the new generation. So again, it could have something to do with the charger itself. It could also be because it's cooler. I've been driving, maybe the components are a little bit cooler. So, but just interesting. I'm just gonna note it to everybody if you're interested. And it's starting to walk down a little bit from 123 kilowatts. So I think the GM dip might be coming. So I think I'm gonna blast the heat. Let's see. All right, the GM dip is definitely starting to happen. I'm blasting the heat, and I just want to see what happens. Someone asked me to try it, so here it is, me trying for them. Maybe I should have started earlier or done it the whole time, but we'll see. So if this can at least recover from the drop, then maybe this is a good trick. If not, and it's not. The test is an utter failure because now this is the lowest I've ever actually seen the charge rate go. So I'm gonna stop that auto and I'm gonna go to 72. Oh my God, I'm gonna leave this in. Do you hear that? The power of GM HVAC. All right, but anyways, if you can hear me, 60%, 50 kilowatts. I've never seen it go this low. I've seen it on the Blazers, 49. So yeah, that plan wasn't good. I'm interested to go feel the adapter. Let's see how hot the adapter is. Because I wonder if this is, honestly, the adapter is not hot at all. So, and the testing is not hot either. So, it's the car. All right, it's reached a low of 42 kilowatts. Interesting. I'm actually gonna try something. I'm gonna move charging stalls and see if that, actually, I'm not gonna do that. I lied. Because I can hear the AC it's just ripping right now, trying to cool things off. So if anything, turning the heat on, I think exacerbated the overheating issues with the car. Because again, I've never seen it go down to 41 kilowatts. It was an interesting test. I'm sorry, car, for doing that to you. You've only got 17% more to go, and then I'll stop torturing you. I don't know if you all can hear it, but the compressor it's spinning down, and the charge rate is going up. So there's definitely a little bit of a correlation there. We are nearing 80%. As you can see, the power has walked its way back up to 85 kilowatts. So again, I'm no scientist. I just tried that because someone asked me to, and it caused the car to go to the lowest power I've ever seen it draw at that state of charge. So I can't say for sure that's what caused it, but it's never happened for me before until I did that. So that's where we are with that. So we're gonna let this go up to 80%. and then we're gonna head on our way. I'm probably gonna grab dinner actually, and then head home. All right, we made it to 80%. Let's go ahead and unplug. I'm actually gonna turn the camera off and do this so I can do it two-handed. All unplugged, back in the car. I'm gonna stop at Cava. Sorry, my plane went away. I'm gonna stop at Cava to get dinner. If you don't know what that is, it's like a Mediterranean kind of deal. It's like Mediterranean Chipotle, if you will. And then I'm gonna head home. So let's get on the road. All right, everybody. So I'm glad I reset this trip. So it's 28.8 miles, 3.4 mile per kilowatt hour, a little bit more efficient. And now I'm gonna go get some dinner. And we have 71% left there. I have made it home. And of course I messed it up again. I forgot, so we could do how much energy was used, but I'll calculate it and give you a rough estimate, because I can just take this number, divide by that number, it'll give me the answer. But 503.5 miles, 3.2 miles per kilowatt hour for the total trip. So yeah, it was a fun day. Really enjoyed the trip, and the Supercharging Network made it easy. So like I said, that was a fun day. Glad you all could join me. So this is the road trip video, if you will, going to and coming from Electrify Expo. Be on the lookout for the Electrify Expo video that I'm going to put together. That'll come out after this. I had a really great time, got to drive a lot of really cool cars, and hopefully you all will at least enjoy all of my thoughts and opinions about how that went down. So a couple learnings about today. The Tesla Supercharging Network is awesome as far as using it for non-Tesla vehicles. The biggest issue I found was that at every single Tesla Supercharger I stopped at, the dispensers were in the middle, and then since they were in the middle, the cables didn't reach. I had to park in between two dispensers. So, but it ended up not mattering for me. So there's that. So anyways, that was kind of my biggest learning. Oh, and the pricing is great. And well, I'm actually going to put down how much this would have cost for a comparable car if for a comparable gas car, just to see kind of where we're at in the market right now as far as EVs being more affordable for transportation than gas cars, at least for fueling purposes, because they aren't always. Like, the trucks are more, like EV trucks are more expensive. I honestly don't know how it will pan out, but I'll run the numbers and put it down here, because that'll be kind of an interesting thing for you all to see and consider when you're looking at this transition to electric vehicles. So thanks again for watching. If you haven't already, please remember to give it a like, a subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow me on all the social medias, and I will catch you all next time.